doing the right-hand rule.
Oh, hey, look at that. It worked.
Looks like a roller coaster, huh?
No kidding. Probably not so safe to ride on, and I'm sure our workers certainly weren't riding on it.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Britannia mine in Britannia Beach, British Columbia. This was an abandoned mine from 1974, and back in about 2008 they purchased this land and now made it a museum. Let's go check it out. It should be quite cool. There's a cool photo of them building it back in 1923. This mine here in Britannia has one gorgeous view. And over here is the little town. Back in the 90s and the 80s and all that, this did not look like that at all. It was all dilapidated buildings, abandoned. Now it's a bit of a tourist trap, so they fixed it up. This place used to be a big eyesore. Not anymore though, they've done a really nice job. And right over here, right over there, there used to be an old ship when I was a kid that was parked over there, right up here. And it was there for years, and I guess somebody got so mad of seeing it or something, so they burnt it. And it was just a big crisp. And it sat there for years, just a huge eyesore. Now it's gone, thank goodness. Sorry about all the background noise, there's helicopters working above us. So, included in your admission is a little train ride. And we're gonna go into there. I think about 400 meters in the mountain or so. Should be fun. Looks like we're gonna get a little wet, but that's okay. Yeah, I've been having a lot of luck lately. It's a Monday and there's nobody here. So, it looks to me like I'm going to be the only guy going into this mine tour. So it's going to be really great. The guy or women, whoever's going to do the tour, it's just going to be me. Maybe, hoping. But we'll see. It should be awesome. Let's go. Here we go. They're doing the right hand Bunch of jack legs in here, eh?
Pardon?
The jack legs?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that one in just a moment there. Do you work in the mining industry?
No, but I got some interest in it, so.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get you just in that little section there. Well, welcome to the early 1900s. How was your time traveling experience today?
Fantastic.
Great. Who knew it was just like riding a train, eh? What were some of the interesting things you noticed on our ride in?
I like the square set that's going on in there. Didn't get to see too much because it's just the main tunnel, the haulage tunnel, but
Yeah.
now that I get to see some jack legs and stuff, it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Did you notice that kind of turquoise color on the wall?
Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, so that indicates or shows us that there's still lots of copper to be found in this mountain, even still today. So it's traveling with the water, interacting with the oxygen in the tunnel, creating that lovely color that you noticed on the wall. Now it is the early 1900s. The best tools we have for finding chalcopyrite would be our eyes and our brains. You may have noticed that miner's bullseye down there.
Okay, yeah.
We can try in that section. Someone's taking the guesswork out of it for us. Now, of course, when we first opened up, couldn't afford big fancy tools, but this will do the job just fine. Got our little sledgehammer here and drill steel. So we're not going to use it to just slowly chip away and make these tunnels. We'll drill a hole deep enough for the chalcopyrite, the dynamite. That'll really do the heavy lifting there for us. Now, I'll be the first to admit, my technique is, well, it's just okay. I will try my very hardest though to drill us a hole today. So bear with me here. Give it a little twist. Oh. All right, well, I think I'm ready for my coffee break. Believe it or not, that's getting to be maybe 2 millimeters deep, but I have been working on it for almost 2 months now, so I'm not making very much progress. I'll chalk that up to a dull drill steel. Thankfully, they didn't have to use this method for too long. They found that ore pretty quickly, got some big investors so they could bring in this heavy hitter we have here. Now, looking at the piston drill, do you think this made things better with a thumbs up or worse, thumbs down?
Oh, better for sure.
Better for sure? Yeah, well, they did. But it did also make things a little bit worse. Clearly, it's built for power. So drilling those holes is going to be a heck of a lot easier than using this. However, it is far from perfect. It's very big, it's really heavy, it's also incredibly loud. We can compare the noise from this one to that of a jet engine. Probably not so nice if you've just got a little cotton with some wax as your hearing protection. Over the years though, they redesigned this to deal with some of those issues and brought in your favorite there, the jack leg drill. So right away, much smaller, therefore much lighter. Just took one person to operate this one, as opposed to the 4 or 5 they need for the piston drill. Another big positive, it's only about half as loud, so good job for our miners' hearing. Now they did such a good job in designing this drill that it can be very similar to some of the ones you can still find in mining, even still today, and that means that this one still works. Would you like me to fire it up and show you what it's like?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
We are good.
Excellent. Okay, so loud noise in 3, 2, 1. I feel like that had a little extra kick in it today. What did you think?
Pretty cool. Pretty fast too. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's all well and good if we've got machines that allow us to build tunnels quickly, but if we don't know where we're going, we're going to waste a lot of time, more importantly, money, building tunnels to nowhere. And that's where this comes in handy. So this is our diamond drill, and it's just as fancy as its name suggests. So using a hollow drill bit like this one, it's encrusted with industrial diamonds to produce or to give us a core sample. From here, the geologist can read it and then see exactly where and how big an ore deposit is. So we can kind of think of this as an X-ray into the mountain, bringing some much needed direction to the mine. So we're fast and efficient, we're going in the right direction. It was these and many other technological advances that led to Britannia being one of the most successful copper mines in the entire British Empire. Now that we've had a look at these, we're going to walk our way over to the next chamber and take a look at a typical workday for the miners and what they may have been experiencing without this luxury that we're enjoying in here today. Before we move along, do you have any questions about anything you see in here?
Oh, no, that's pretty cool.
Wonderful. Follow me.
Oh, a little mucker, eh?
You know your stuff. So even still in mining today, they're not going to bother with plumbing in these lights like we've got in here. Every time they blast, they get damaged, they need repair, and some poor electrician's going to spend day and night fixing these things endlessly. I'm going to demonstrate for you how that lighting has changed over the years, but of course, this will require me to turn the lights off. So if this makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to be brave today.
Well, it's
You're
okay.
all on your own, you got nobody to snuggle with. If at any point you're not enjoying it, just say lights on. I'll happily turn them back on for you. Okay. Oh, this is a tricky one.
You got a carbide lamp in there?
You're going to have to wait and see, my friend. Know all my secrets. Okay. Now to help our eyes adjust a little bit, but to also getting us thinking like a miner, I'll get you to close your eyes. You can imagine for me that we're back on that train. We've been riding it for probably an hour or so. The train stops. You wake up from your little nap, and this is what you see. Total darkness. It's just you and the rock. Not to worry though, you have remembered to bring your company issued light. Ta-da, a candle. Now, of course, they would need their hands to operate their equipment. So they could place the candle on the wall just like that one there, and here it would stay for their full 8-hour shift. Now we've got air-powered drills, this is a very wet environment. The likelihood of these candles staying lit was pretty low, but this was the way they operated for the first 15 years the mine was open. Now, for me, this would not be a great working environment, but for them, it was more of a minor inconvenience than really creating a dangerous work environment. As time went on, they started looking at other portable lighting options that were available, and as you already guessed it, kind of adapted what was being used as headlights on cars to something they could use in a mine. The carbide lamp with calcium carbide in the bottom. We can just add a little bit of water, and I'll show you how it goes. Now, I will warn you, it was acting up this morning, but I feel confident that we can get it going. So open up the valve, let the water start dripping down to form that chemical reaction, resulting in acetylene gas. Let's see what happens here. All right, we let a little gas build up, and then, oh hey, look at that, it worked. We've got our lamp. So right away we can see this is burning way brighter than the candle. We've also got the disc pushing all the light in the right direction. We can see you again, we can see our equipment here. So this was a huge improvement for them, and miners loved it. As I'm sure you already know, it was their very first headlamp. Now, of course, they weren't wearing hard hats like we've got on today. They would have used like a resin cap or a baseball cap, something along those lines. And now, I mentioned that it is burning acetylene gas. Do you happen to know the industry using acetylene gas
I
today?
use it every day at work.
Oh, there you go, you're a welder then.
No, I'm a millwright, but
Oh, well,
yeah.
somewhere along there.
Mhm.
So, yeah, used in the blowtorches, wearing on your head. Like, think about that one. Now, as you can probably imagine, the 1940s, the government stepped in and was like, okay, this is just too dangerous. We need you all to switch over to a battery-operated headlamp. And of course, they didn't look as nice and sleek as we've got today. They were given something like this. So battery similar to what's in your car. This one weighs between 6 and 8 pounds to be worn on the hip. With this lovely, inconvenient cord, bringing the light right to the front of the hard hat there. Now, I can tell you holding these two right now, I would way rather be using a carbide lamp. This is quite heavy, it's very cumbersome, not super convenient. Eventually, the miners did see the benefit of putting safety over convenience and switched over. And then, you know, today you probably have some at home. We've got nice tiny LED lights, little, come on, little batteries. So lighting has just continued to get lighter and brighter for the mining industry. Here we go. Now the first crew that would have come in on any given shift would have been the drillers, like we saw in the last chamber. They're going to drill the holes to be filled with dynamite. The blasters will come in, pack the holes with explosives, set the charge, get to a nice safe distance, dynamite does its thing, and then we have the muckers come in and move all the rock out of the way. So the cycle of drill, blast, muck. Drill, blast, muck. It was 3 consecutive 8-hour shifts working 24 hours a day, 364 days out of the year. You want to take a wild guess at the day they had off?
Christmas.
You got it, Christmas. How generous of the company, eh? So when you showed up at work, they would have handed you a little tool like this. I'm sure you've seen one before. A little shovel. We'll scoop and chuck the rock out of the way until it's all clear. About 8 to 10 tons worth, taking your whole shift. Anything valuable, they'll put in the cart and send to the mill to be processed. All the extra stuff, they'll still put it in the cart, but now we'll just go dump it out in the ocean. Environmental concerns, not really top of mind back then. Thankfully, like everything else, this too did improve with time, and we brought in our muck machine, like you noticed there. So it's going to take that work time down significantly, really do the heavy lifting for you. And I'll show you how this works. It can be a little bit noisy, certainly nothing like the drill. Just up there. About you, but I would way rather operate this very cool machine than have to move all that rock by hand. Now, of course, our environmental awareness has come a long way when we recycle, so I'll just put that back. It's ready for the next group. Now, there is a larger cost to mining than just that of the operation, and that is the cost that it has on the environment. Something that Britannia unfortunately learned the hard way. Now in 1974, we shut this mine down because that cost both financially and environmentally was just too high. They did put some measures in place that met the standards of the day, but as you probably already know, these did fail. They sent acid rock drainage, which is full of heavy metals, right into Howe Sound. Not ideal for the marine life trying to live there. Took a long time and a lot of creative thinking to come up with a solution for this problem. But in 2005, they opened up the water treatment plant, and now we're starting to see that marine life come back, which is fantastic. But even though this mine is closed and that environmental impact's diminishing, we're all still using copper. So if it isn't coming from here, it must be coming from somewhere. That does wrap up our time underground. We have a couple more stops to make on the way out. Anything else that you wanted to look at before we leave?
Do you have any stoped out areas that are in here, underground, or?
I don't know what that means.
Like a big open room, like a stope?
No, nothing like that.
No?
Not
Okay.
here anyway. It's just these tunnels that you see here.
I'm sure the workings are quite extensive still,
They
right?
are, yeah. So if you
Yeah.
can hit, when you're finished here, you can head into our administrative building where we have a lot of the artifacts. In there, there's a really nice map of all of the mine that was underground. I think you definitely take a look at that. It's really cool and it shows nicely what those tunnels look like and all that.
And how deep do they go down?
Great question. What's the deepest one? It's like
Deepest
100 meters below sea level or something like that?
650 meters below sea level is the
650 meters? 650 meters?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty deep.
That's pretty deep, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely check that out. It really nicely shows just how high it goes and how wide and everything.
I'd imagine it's all flooded out though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, well follow me, just mind your step, it can be a little slippery up here. While the mine was operating, they blew the whistle 15 minutes before the next shift started. I think it's a bit selfish on the mine's part. You'll see why in a moment, that it made sure everyone was awake and that they still had time to get ready and get to work in the morning. So you can never use that excuse. I slept in, my alarm didn't go off. Not a thing if you worked here.
I imagine maybe this one?
Got it. Yeah, there's quite a bit actually in this one. So there's that,
Yeah.
which is really nice. But really all of this has chalcopyrite through it. So that would have been an excellent direction to start building your mine towards.
There's quite a few samples, eh?
Yeah, quite a few. Appreciate it. We don't have anywhere we need to be, so we can take as much time as you'd like.
Right on. So how tall is it? How high does it go up?
It's 23 stories. I don't know the meters of.
So that'd be about 250 feet, I'd say, at least. Yeah.
So when the mine shut down in '74, they did sell off everything they could, trying to hope that every last dollar, you know, make a little bit more money before shutting down. So that's why we've got this really cool, kind of like ruin to explore today.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's all concrete too and steel.
Yeah, it's actually held up pretty well. Aside from the really wet areas where there's quite a bit of corrosion, it's actually hanging in there pretty good.
And it was built almost 100 years ago, you said, right?
Yeah, 1923 was when it opened.
Mm-hmm. Wooden roof.
Yeah. I think we've got sheet metal on top as well.
Yeah, sheet metal on the top and wood down here. Yeah, I can remember everything was blown out.
Yeah, all the windows broken, and so like on the wall there, they've preserved some of the original window panes in that,
Yeah.
and some of the sheet metal that was on the side, but just kind of covered. Yeah, from here you can kind of see some of that original.
Oh yeah, up in there.
Yeah.
So this is what the mine used to look like back in the 90s and the 80s. When I was a kid, we would drive by the Sea to Sky Highway 99, and this is what you'd see. Everything all blown out and dilapidated and let to rot. So they've done quite a job. So what exactly was the process here? There must have been machines down where we're standing.
Yeah, so the first, honestly, the biggest pieces were at the top, and then the smaller got down. Just gravity worked really well that way. So they crush it up at the top, kind of going from a baseball size to more like a grape size rock, kind of with like a pepper grinder almost. From there, they're going to put it into those ball mills with the big iron balls in it, tumbling it around, getting it down to like a fine sand, kind of clay and water. And then on that upper level there, they did something called flotation. So by adding pine oil, the bubbles came up, captured the mineral that they wanted, the chalcopyrite, and then they'd skim that off the top and bring it to big tanks down here, where that would settle to the bottom. They'd suck out any last little bit of water, and then you'd be left with the copper concentrate.
Okay.
Yeah. From there, they'd send it to a smelter, I believe, in near Seattle, and then there it'd be refined as copper. Go, Francie. 4 and 5. Repair done on our show, so that's why we're not running it at the moment. But
Okay, yeah.
the skip and the staircase is quite impressive. I'll let you take a quick peek here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Looks like a roller coaster, huh?
no kidding. Probably not so safe to ride on, and I'm sure our workers certainly weren't riding on it, but they'd use this to bring that machinery up to the different levels. And then hopefully when we start bringing groups up there, this will be the main point of entrance. At least to that platform. The top half of the stairs is not really so safe, but the bottom half is pretty good.
That is quite steep.
It is, yeah. It's worse
So
when you're coming down it.
Yeah, you would take people up them staircase?
Yes, so I'm assuming that it will probably be a similar route that we take when we go through it, which is up to this main level there where the flotation was happening. And then from there, there's better staircases up through the rest of the mill.
Oh, that's a real shame. I would love to go up there.
Well, yeah. Hopefully not too long of a wait.
I'll sign a waiver form if I get injured.
I'm not even allowed to go up there by
Oh, really?
myself. No, it has to be our operations manager or somebody on our maintenance team. So.
Hire me. I'm a millwright. I can be hired for the day, and then
Like,
you can fire me at the end of it. Fire me for going up there.
That's the first call we make when we open it up.
Yeah. So that was a really great tour. It was awesome. I was the only one there. It was great. I had a personal tour of the building behind me. Unfortunately, I couldn't get up to the upper levels. They said it was too dangerous. They're trying to fix that so that they can have people come up here. But for now, they didn't want to let me in, so what can you do, right? But the nice young lady that took us on the adventure there was very informative. It was a great experience, and I highly recommend coming here. So if you guys like this abandoned mines and all the cool mining things that you saw today, there's a real great channel called Exploring Abandoned Mines. There's a fella by the name of Frank. He's a really nice guy. I watch him all the time. Check out his channel if this is up your alley for mines and anything mine related. He's a really cool guy. Check him out. He goes deep inside where no one goes. Trust me. It's he's quite the explorer. Go check him out. Hey everybody, make sure you tune into the next episode because it's part 2 of this Britannia mine episode, and we're gonna go outside, check out all the outbuildings, check out all the old equipment. They have some tractors. They have a lot of stuff. So make sure you come and check it out. Okay. See you on the next one, guys.